Alright, I got my new hammock and tarp system in the mail yesterday, so I wanted to just kind of quick go through those. Haven't had a chance to hang them yet or really do anything with it outside of just unboxing them. So I just wanted to kind of do a quick little video to go through them, take a look at them, and just go through the reasons why I decided to go with this. I currently have an Eno system, double hammock, Eno double nest, with the Eno straps, which are really heavy and kind of a pain in the butt to use, as far as just rolling them up and storing them, and the corresponding bug net that goes with it. The tarp I use is a custom sewing tarp, CCS, some nylon tarp, really light. This has comes with 80 feet of rope to kind of for a ridge line to tie out. Whatever, and I have some other just kind of guy lines in here too. So this isn't necessarily packed as small as it normally can be, but it can pack down pretty small. This is really light, good tarp to go with. It doesn't quite fit it isn't quite long enough. Either way I hang it, it's not quite exactly what I'm looking for. It's just kind of a make-do one. I wanted a whole system that was just a little bit better. It's fine. I'm happy with it. I don't really have any complaints with it. Outside of it's just probably more for lounging, not necessarily for backpacking. I hear people kind of complain about Eno stuff, but I don't have any complaints with it. It's just not necessarily designed, at least their Eno products. It doesn't have lightweight in mind when you're purchasing their equipment. And everything's an add-on with it. Warbonnet, Blackbird XLC, double 1.7 layer, something like that. But basically it's the highest load capacity, 400 pound load capacity on it, and I'm a big dude, so I wanted a lot of stuff, a lot of weight capacity on it with quite a bit of room to spare. I didn't want to be cutting it close on it, so I've got about 100 extra pounds capacity on there as kind of a buffer. Might be a little more than I need. I might have been able to get by with a little, with their, I think they had a 350 pound version. But I didn't want to risk it. So I went with this one. And so it's a little bigger. It's about twice the size as their lowest load capacity, which wasn't going to work. But it's about twice the weight of that because it's double the material basically. It's a double, whatever you call the base of the main body of the hammock. It's two sheets basically. So it is a little bit bigger probably than some other stuff. So in that case, I don't think with the Eno, I'm not really sure. When I'm holding these two things, it doesn't feel that much lighter than the current setup that I have because of that fact. But because everything's a all-in-one, as far as bug net goes, bug net and suspension, it's an all-in-one piece. I do like that as opposed to the Eno where everything's separate on it. So to kind of start, the stuff sack has two ends. It's open on both ends with a drawstring, so you can just kind of pull your system out this way, hang your suspension straps, and all the while you don't have to worry about a loose stuff sack kind of flying around. Kind of a minor point. I like it. I lose stuff sacks, or misplace them, I should say. I don't lose them. I misplace them. And it's just kind of taken care of right off the bat while you're fiddling with suspension systems, how high you're going to hang it, making sure where you've chosen is the right distance apart, all that kind of stuff. So things that I liked about it, again, integrated bug net, just a zipper to kind of close that off, gives you a nice little cocoon, and some nice space that doesn't have mosquitoes buzzing directly around your head. My old one, I had it had some bug experiences before I had the bug net, and you had to wear a head net, but they were always just kind of buzzing around your face. You get that mosquito buzz / whine. That's got to be one of the worst nails on a chalkboard kind of grating sound that there is. So that if you can get a little space between you, that's a nice little feature to kind of have on these. Since I've had the bug net, I haven't had to actually use it. because I did some camping out west where there just weren't mosquitoes. I mean, I'm sure they're there, but they're from Minnesota where they're everywhere. I mean, there's literally clouds of them, and if you're in the woods, you can hear the buzz of millions of mosquitoes in the woods. There's an audible buzz to it. It's definitely, having bug nets is definitely a thing that you need, and mosquitoes physically love me. So I tend to go with people that they don't get a lot of mosquito bites, but if I go somewhere, I'll have like a light night out is 14 to 20 mosquito bites. So I definitely like mosquito-free environments. Any way I can set that up, either through chemical treatment or bug netting or whatever. So, all right, suspension system. I went with the webbing and the buckles instead of the whoopee sling. I'm not 100% sure about the whoopee sling load-bearing capacity, so I went with the beefier version, a little bit heavier, but I don't care. And I can always upgrade to a whoopee sling later on if I decide that's the way I want to go. So we've got that on both ends. The zipper here, like I said, there's a zipper on the bug screen, and you can just roll it up and tie that off. It has a little tie points on each end here, so you can kind of tie off roll it up, tie it away when you don't need your bug net, like that. And the other feature I really like, even though right now it's getting to the point where I don't need under quilts or any kind of under insulation for my hammock. It's getting pretty warm out here now. We're approaching the time of the year where the under quilt's a little bit overkill for me. I don't necessarily need to go with that. I'm a pretty warm sleeper, so once you're getting like 50 degrees at night, then I think I'm pretty good to go as far as warmth goes by just using a quilt, which I have the Enlightened Equipment Revelation quilt, basically, which I purchased for hammock sleeping, as well as other stuff. I'm not a big fan of the constriction of a mummy bag, and the sleeping bags I have, I end up just using them like a quilt anyway, and I like that Enlightened Equipment thing. I think that's going to be a good purchase for me as well. But when I do have under insulation, there's a compartment here to put in your sleeping pad. So you can put a sleeping pad under here and then just climb into your hammock, and your pad's in place. It's not going to slide around on you. Throughout the night, I tend to change positions quite a bit when I'm sleeping. So that's a nice feature that I really like when I do need that, when it gets to be colder, doing early season camping or late season camping, or even getting into that winter camping. It's going to be a nice feature. I'm going to enjoy that. As far as the tarp goes, I showed you what I have used in the past. I decided to just add this on. This is my second. I screwed up my first order. Had to send it back. Warbonnet was super cool about it. Just refunded me my money, and I reordered what I needed, what I should have ordered in the first place. And then I added on the Superfly tarp. And again, Sil Nylon, really light, packs down small, like that. I've used Sil Nylon in the past. They're bomb-proof. I mean, they're great tarps. They're strong. They're light. They dry quickly. They don't leak, obviously. So they're really, really good tarps to have. And I just wanted the one that was actually designed for this. Now, this is super long. It's 11 feet long. It's almost overkill for what I need. But I read really good reviews on it. I was a little leery of this being too much tarp and being maybe a little too warm. But you can always, change your pitch and allow a little more airflow in there. But this does have the flaps on the ends that will fold in, kind of just creating almost a floating tent. So, like I said, the reviews were great. As far as some people had them in some serious weather, and they worked out great. But with this, it's got the reinforced webbing, kind of a lightweight webbing here, so it's not too heavy too much added weight. Underneath, if I can get to it, underneath your tie-out points, right here, so you can pop those walls out a little bit, give yourself a little more room under the tarp. Your ridge line then has these little metal hooks on it, so you can kind of find your ridge line easily. Follow that down to the other end. There's another one of these. And then when it's hung out, there's this end, this tie out, and this tie out. So this one, it's got some reinforcement here, so you can take some wind a little bit, it looks like. And this one here can fold in, and there's another, another flap on the other side, and that can create your little doors, basically. So if the wind's coming the wrong way, you've got rain coming in, you can kind of create a nice little sealed off environment for yourself. And that was kind of a cool feature, just in case you're in some of those bad rainstorms. I have been in some in a tent before, and it was nice to just be able to have your personal space and not have to worry about rain coming in, or have it wick in through your hammock or your ridge line quite as much. Well, still might come in through your ridge line, I guess, but it's going to have your hammock covered at least. So anyway, I have not had a chance to use this or hang it or anything yet. I haven't even had a chance to do the seam sealing. They do recommend that. Getting some silicone seam sealer and kind of going down that line here to make sure it doesn't drip on you. Nothing kind of, again, wicks through the thread and in through the holes and kind of ends up with a little drip. So you might want to make sure that I get this silicone sealer on here to kind of seal that off. Other than that, I might be getting out maybe this weekend. I don't know. I've been pretty preoccupied getting out mountain biking the past 2 weekends, and this week it's started to get really nice. Got a lot of trails opened up around here, so I might spend my time doing that instead, trying to get my legs back underneath me. But I do want to get out and do some early season camping, get a chance to test out a lot of this new equipment that I have. I've got a new quilt, new hammock, new tarp, new saw, a couple of different kinds of saws I want to try out. What else did I get this year? A lot of stuff. Just winter season, couldn't be out camping, so I occupied my time by ordering a lot of equipment. So upgrading equipment. That's what I was doing. So anyway, that's that. Just kind of wanted to take a look at this and see what we have. And I'm looking forward to getting on and testing it. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking to do, and hopefully that's this weekend. And if I do get out, I will try to post a video in action, so to speak. So